Hey guys, Shakarez here, and today I'm bringing you more Kayle gameplay, and today I'm playing Kayle Jungle, which was what you guys voted for. And I'm up against Lee Sin, which is probably one of the worst matchups for Kayle Jungle, because like his E, if you go on to direct combat with him, his E is kind of devastating as it's an attack speed reduction. It's an attack speed slow, so yeah, sorry, I kind of went over some walls there. That's a bug from wall replay. But yeah, I start clearing, and since I'm actually faster than Lee Sin at clearing, so I clear pretty fast. As you can see, I cleared in less than 3 minutes. And here I go for the gank on Teemo, and right now I'm waiting on him to come closer to the bot lane part of the map, and he does, so he instantly gets QE'd. Ignited, he's not going anywhere. I didn't take the kill because, well, I'm playing with a Riven on my team, and I want my Riven to snowball. So I let her get the kill, I continue farming here, and you saw me take, or maybe you didn't see me take, Q level 2, and I'll take Q level 2 when, my clear on the blue buff is actually good. Because if I don't get much help, I'll need the heal to sustain myself, but if the clear is good, I can actually go for Q and get off a faster clear time. And here I was just trying to get off a gank, but they did have a ward there that I didn't see. Well, I cannot see. And here we go for the gank on bot lane, and we're immediately going for Taric, because Taric doesn't have a blink ability, and we get the kill on Jinx, pretty good. We don't kill Ezreal because Ezreal's too slippery with his... I don't know the name of his flashy thingy. It's... yeah. Whatever. So, Ezreal still had flash and his arcane shift, that's it. And he could always run, so we go on Taric. Taric doesn't waste flash, he ends up dying and we get another kill. Now, Riven's doing pretty well on top lane, and I decide to take my second blue because I'm kind of scared that Ziggs won't do too well because he's already 0-1. And right here, this was... like, really retarded. Like, I'm trying to get Ezreal, I don't manage because he flashes away and I get exhausted, and now I'm trying to protect Jinx, but that's also pretty hard because I'm not level 6 yet. And Cassio comes, she does kill Jinx, and here I'm killing Cassio, who's going to die, but Ziggs takes the kill. So right there, that was a pretty bad, pretty big mistake from my bot lane, because I mean, they saw Lee and they still stayed around, so that's kind of their fault for staying around when they could have just backed off, since they knew that Lee Sin was there. So right here I get my red. Lee Sin was creeping, but he didn't get it, and right here we were looking for him. I end up clearing my red, but you have to be really careful with Lee Sin invades, especially when you're playing Kayle, because she's pretty easy to kill, and she's a good duelist, but versus Lee Sin, if he gets the drop on you, you're completely screwed. So right here, they start doing Dragon, but we're also here. And we end up getting the drop on Taric, which isn't the best target, because he's very tanky. Cassio gets us all, but I end up saving Jinx with my heal. And unfortunately here, Ziggs gets caught. We don't manage to go for Lee Sin, but we do burn his flash. And since Cassio and everyone is here, we end up disengaging, and we end up not doing much. But since Riven comes from top lane to help, we end up getting the Dragon. So Dragon control is pretty important. It's probably one of the things that Kayle does, probably one of her weak points, because since she's not very tanky, and since she's very attack speed reliant, tanking Dragon kind of lowers her DPS to levels where she can't do much damage to Dragon. So she is good at securing it because she can always Q Smite, and that's a pretty good way of securing targets with Smite. So similarly to Lee and Elise, she does have that combo that she can do. So yeah, she's not too bad at that part, but she's not too good at tanking it. So if you can have your Leona tanking it, your Taric, if you have one of those supports and you can make them tank it, it's pretty good. Right here we go for the counter on bot lane. And I do speed up... No, I did speed up Ziggs, and we're trying to get all the kills. And Ziggs gets 2 kills. And Jinx got 1, I get another assist, and I'm almost feeling like 007 with that score. But yeah, we turned on the gank there. Kayle is notably one of the best counter gankers in the game, although I didn't do much in that gank. You'll see that later in the game I pull off better plays. And right here, I knew that Kayle was low. She was probably already shopping, so I still also burned her flash, and I survived because I have my ultimate. So my first kill, 106, a poor ward there, but allows me to stay ahead. In this game, I'm not going to build my usual jungle Kayle build, which is very aggressive. I'm going to build like semi-tanky Kayle. And why is that? Well, we have Riven, we have Ziggs, and our only tanky member is really Leona. And I feel like I have to be somewhat tanky myself because we have enough damage. And since my carries are actually fed, I can go for tankiness. If my if my carries weren't too fed, I'd probably go for something like a more aggressive build. But right here, I know that my job in this game is going to be to help them out. Now, right here, bot lane dies to Ezreal and Cassio. Not much I can do. I do find them here doing Drake, and I do catch Ezreal. But unfortunately, he still had barrier, so he ends up surviving that. And I do manage to interrupt Dragon. So right here, I'm being targeted pretty hard. It's a 4v2, but Ziggs goes in, kills Ezreal, kills Lee Sin, and I end up killing Cassio, and I died to Taric. So not too bad. It was a 2v4. We end up killing 3, and we end up stopping Dragon again. And right here you get to see Teemo split pushing and dying. Die, Teemo. So Teemo is 2 and 5. Oh wait, he wants to... There we go. So Leona wanted to give Jinx the kill. Good guy, Leona. I usually steal my kills from the AD carry. So yeah, as you can see, I've finished my Spectral Wraith. I went for Mercs because I'm versus a lot of CC and 2 magic damage dealers. Well, 3 if you count Taric, but mainly 2. And Teemo Shrooms do a lot of damage. So right here we have this weird standoff that we're trying to fight for Dragon. And right, as I said, Kayle isn't too good at controlling Dragon. She kind of also runs out of mana pretty fast. Demolition Derby going on here with Jinx and Ziggs going for both their ultimates, and we end up having no one actually died from this fight, but everyone was kind of low. And meanwhile, I just said, yeah, I'm going to back, I'm going to get my Nashers, I'm going to get 3 mana potions for some reason. I don't usually get 3 mana potions, but I'm going to get back to Dragon, and we're going to control Dragon again. So right here, I get the pink off to make sure that no Shroom is around, and we get the Dragon with my Smite. So another Dragon, we're 6k gold ahead, but this is one of the comps with a Teemo that they can easily turn around if we're not too careful. So right here they do siege mid lane and they do get it, and I'm just going to farm more. And as you can see, I'm actually 20 CS ahead. Oh yeah, here we go for the kill on Mr. Teemo. I decide to get the kill because I need some kills too. But yeah, this is one of those comps that even when they're behind, with Cassiopeia and Teemo, they can easily pull back a win. And then they have Ezreal, who's very slippery. So it's always a problem fighting against these comps, and we have to be careful. And I was telling my team that we needed 3 sweeping lenses, because versus Teemo, you definitely want more than 2 sweeping lenses. So, more about the build. Right now you see I have... Oh yeah, I catch Lee Sin here. So I'll talk about the build in a sec. So we catch Lee, he runs, but Cassio stay there, and she gives me a nice blue buff. Now, talking a bit more about the build. Instead of going for my very aggressive build, which is what I usually do, I go for Wit's End after Nashers. And this is because they have AP damage, but it's not too bursty. It's kind of sustained magic damage. And so I'm going for Wit's End because it gives me a nice offensive boost besides defensive. And right here, Riven was playing catch the Teemo. I gave her my heal, so I get a free assist, and that's 150 gold. And yeah, I'm going for Wit's End, and probably after Wit's End, I'm going to look for an armor item. Now, the best armor item for Kayle, in my opinion, is Zhonya's, because it lets you... It gives you a mix of offensive and defensive power, and even if you don't use the stasis or don't need it as much, because you're not the focus of in team fights, you still use the AP and the armor pretty well. And even if you are the focus, you can always Zhonya's and save your ultimate for someone else. Oops, sorry about that. Oh, so right here, Teemo's getting a bit too cocky, and he's trying to get forward to land something, and I land my Q, Jinx lands hers, and Leona Flash engages, and yeah, that's a dead Teemo. Now, this was a pretty awkward fight. I flash in, try to get Cassio. She does flash away, and they end up killing Leona, but all of our backline was safe because Leona was tanking all that damage. And I ulted myself because I was expecting them to turn on me, Lee and Cassio. They ended up not doing it, but it's okay. So the problem with Kayle is that versus this kind of comp, since they're not very bursty, it's difficult to predict when to ult. They have a lot of sustained damage, so Cassio, Lee Sin, Ezreal, they're very sustained, they're not very bursty, so it's kind of difficult to know when to ult, and I ended up not putting a very good ult there. I could have ulted Leona, but she was a bit too far. So right here we get the turret. I think we were going for the inhibitor, but exactly, Lee Sin is way too close for comfort, and we end up trying to disengage, but yeah, and this is another mistake from me. Right here, Teemo flashes Ignite, tries to kill Ziggs, and he does manage. And I tried to heal Ziggs, and what I should have done is I should have saved the mana for my ultimate instead of the heal. But after the patch, since the ultimate is going to be 0 mana, I'll be able to do both. But yeah, that's one of those situations where you actually run out of mana. Oh, and right here, they go for the Baron. Not much we can do, really, and I end up telling Leona, just disengage. We cannot kill them. So we let them have Baron, but we are still 8k gold ahead, so we're pretty good, and we're still pretty ahead, and I buy 2 components of my Seeker's Arm Guard. So right now, let's take a look at my stats. So I have 187 AP, but I have 124 magic resistance when I get my Wit's End stacks, so that's pretty decent. My armor is also at 94. So this is kind of like my semi-bruisery tanky Kayle that does some damage. Oh, and right here a fight erupts. Ezreal wasn't in the fight, so they didn't manage to do much. And right here I'm trying to figure who should I go for. And I end up going for Teemo. I kill Teemo. And I think only our Leona dies. And after some chasing, let me actually change the camera here. I think Riven ends up catching this Ezreal. So a 4-for-1 for us. So this was a complete throw. I mean, when you're behind 8k gold, you should not try to fight the enemy with a numbers disadvantage. You should be using your Baron to force objectives, or to at least get some control over the game. And they ended up doing a bad fight that they just wasted their little hope of getting back into the game. So we get the turret here. I'm 6-1-14, not a bad not a bad score. I'm 110 CS, so I'm doing pretty well too. And yeah, that's the tank here. Oh yeah, this fight is awesome. So right here I notice that blue's up, so I'm going to help, but then I see that Leona gets caught. Now, this is the AoE comp at its finest. That was a Leona ultimate, plus a Jinx ultimate, plus a Ziggs ultimate, all on top of each other, and we managed to save the Leona. Now right here I'm going back, I'm going to finish my Seeker. Oh, I'm not going back yet. Okay, there we go, I'm going back now, getting my Seekers, which will turn into a Zhonya's when I can. And pretty much the game is in control right now. We're just trying to get objectives. And when you're in this situation, like I was, you want to build tanky if you're not getting ahead early. And since I was just getting assists, I knew that I was not going to be the carry. I can always ult Riven or Ziggs, my priority targets, or Jinx, my priority targets, and have them do all the damage, while I'm in the back line healing them and doing whatever. So right there, that was so fast. Ezreal got a bit too cocky as well. Let's see that. Yeah, right here. He tries to poke Ziggs. He gets caught by Leona, Jinx, and myself. Ziggs' ultimate is kind of overkill. Oh, and right here I ulted the Cassio ult, which is the kind of burst that they have. And I tried to go for Taric to save Leona. Unfortunately, Taric managed to kill Leona. And he's running, so I'm gonna let him run. But yeah, this is pretty much the game. I'm going to skip most of this part now because it's boring. It's just us trying to siege and not managing to siege because they have Teemo shrooms. Like I said, Teemo's a pest to deal with. But overall, if you're not very ahead and you can't afford to go for that tankier build on Kayle, you can always go with this. I just feel like this build might be weaker in the future because of the Kayle changes. Since the Q ratio is going down from 1 to 0.6, Kayle is going to lose damage on her Q, and she's more dependent on Lichbane to do that damage. So without it, she won't be able to burst down targets like she used to. So I mean, this build might be not as relevant after the nerfs. Hopefully it still is, but I doubt it actually. But we'll see. I might end up playing more AD Kayle jungle, which I usually don't play because AP is just so much more useful than AP. But yeah, that might be it. Oh, and here, Teemo, sneaky Teemo. He was in the middle of those turrets just waiting for me to come close. And he ended up killing me, and my ultimate isn't going to do much against his damage over time abilities. So yeah, this game is pretty much over. We're just trying to siege. We don't manage to siege ever. We get some kills here and there. Riven tries to go on for the kill on Teemo. But yeah, next game I'm going to try to do Kayle support, which some people asked for. If you have any suggestion for my gameplays, please leave a comment in the comment section. Other than that, I am going to start streaming, but I feel like most of these games aren't really of high value. Like, I cannot really say that the games aren't really good right now. They're either stomps on our side or their side. I don't think they're very entertaining. They're not much entertaining. They're not very entertaining to watch. Sorry about that. And yeah, oh yeah, right here I ult Ziggs, so he takes absolutely no damage from all those abilities. He still dies, but they focus so much damage on an ulted target that they end up getting cleaned up by us. So yeah, this is pretty much the end of the game. As I said, if you have any suggestions for future videos, please let me know. I am working on some analysis videos because I know that you guys like those too. And yeah, I am going to start streaming, as I said, once I hit Diamond. I'm Platinum 1. I lost my promos once already. So I'm Diamond 1 like 90 points or something. I'm Platinum 1 like 90 points. But I don't want to stream before getting Diamond because I just feel that the games aren't high value enough. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. I am bringing Kayle support next time, or maybe Kayle jungle with the aggressive build. But yeah, that's all for today. I'll see you guys in the Rift. Shakarez signing out.